Do you feel stressed out trying to study? Do you feel like the study techniques that you use aren't working? Do you feel like when you try to sit down and study, you get distracted by other things? If so, watch this video for some helpful hints on how to study better. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kayla Noel. So today's video, I have finals coming up, so I thought in today's video I would talk about some study tips that I use and that you should use for finals. Yeah. So basically, my number one tip, I guess, is to plan ahead. Like, spur of the moment studying is just never gonna happen. You're gonna be on TikTok, you're gonna be like, oh, I'll study today, but not have a set time and just never do it because you end up being on TikTok for 3, 4, 5 hours. So I say if you have a planned time, like today, 3 o'clock, set an alarm, I'm gonna study for X amount of hours, and then do it. You need to be consistent with yourself and the times that you set. And like set times for certain classes, like at 8 to 9 I'm gonna study, or from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'm gonna study for calc. From 9:30 to 10:30 I'm gonna study for macroeconomics. Like, you need to have times so you don't like end up just mindlessly studying information where you're not retaining anything, which this kind of goes into my next tip, which is take breaks. I think there's like a certain name for it, but like when you study for X amount of minutes, take a break for X amount of minutes. So what I do is I study for an hour and a half, take a 30-minute break, study for an hour and a half, take a 30-minute break. But I study different subjects, and the 30 minutes is really for me to relax, maybe go on TikTok, but like give my brain time to process the information that I just studied, and that helps me retain information better, and I think it would help a lot of people. I think a lot of people give this tip. I don't necessarily know if it helps, but learn what kind of learner you are. So like if you learn better from taking notes, just rewriting notes, then that's how you learn. If you learn better by talking concepts out to yourself, then that's how you learn, and that's how you'll study better. So you have to take that into consideration when you're trying to study, because just sitting there and looking at your notes from class going like this is not gonna help you at all. So I think if you know what type of learner you are, then I know they have tests, maybe I'll link one below to tell you, but I don't know if those are always accurate, but it'll help you understand how to study better. And I guess that's also a tip, is try out different study techniques, because not all of them are going to work for everybody. Like, some people take great flashcards. I know when I was in high school I used Quizlet a lot and it worked really well for me. So but like Quizlet doesn't work for every class. Like, I can't use Quizlet to help me study for math type thing. So you have to figure out what works for you in general, and then what works for each subject. So that's a tip. I also would say don't cram, which is like studying one. Like, I have a macroeconomics test tomorrow. I'm gonna study all night for macroeconomics and take the test in the morning. That's not a good idea. It's stressing your brain out. It's stressing you out. It's not gonna help you retain any information that you didn't have before. I mean, that's what, I don't want to say it won't help you at all, but it's not going to help you as much as you think it's going to help you. You need to study over a period of time, a little bit each day, as they say, and that will help you more than cramming. I think this goes into like not cramming, but like review every day. Like, if you say, I have macroeconomics Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. After class each day, I'm gonna spend 30 minutes reviewing what we learned. I can see the cat in the reflection, but I don't. Oh, there it is. But okay, anyway, the cat was distracting me. So if you think about, like, I have macroeconomics these days, I'm going to take 30 minutes each day to study at this time. It will help you spread out the information and retain more of it, because you're not trying to learn so much at one time. I think this for me, this is, you see the cat? This is a quarantine specific advice, I would say. Not necessarily quarantine, but like online school. At least for me, I know for a lot of people you need to separate room and study area, or room and, or like you sleep in your bed but you don't do homework in your bed. So because you're not gonna be as motivated to get up and do stuff if you're have one space for everything. You need to disassociate. Like this area is my desk. I do homework. I also have a desk in the other room. But like when I was at college, Del State, when I was there, I would go to the student center and I would just do work or edit in there, so I wouldn't get distracted or want to get in bed, take a nap, watch TV type thing. So switching up your locations for where you study could be helpful, because you won't, like if you do all your online classes in your room, you might just want to get in bed or like do online from your bed, which is not helpful at all. Get in a desk, go sit at your kitchen counter, something other than your bed to help you. I want to say feel more motivated, but I don't know if that's the right term for everybody. But like, you read, you sleep. You're gonna want to sleep when you're in your bed. You're not gonna want to be studying. And in a different location, say just a random chair in your living room with the TV off. You could say, that's where I study, that's where I do this, and it will be helpful to disassociate those two places. I think I said this, but like once you take breaks, time them, like, because I know like I can say, oh, I'll take a 30-minute break, but then be on TikTok for an hour and a half or be on YouTube for an hour and a half. So you need to time your breaks so you can get back to doing what you need to be doing, type beat. And this tip, I don't know if this actually works for everybody, but I do it. It's like when you're studying, you have your phone recording or recording you study, so you can't use your phone, because you can't record and use your phone at the same time. So that stops you from getting distracted by your phone, because you can't use it while you are studying, which is helpful because I know people get distracted by their phone a lot, and do not disturb doesn't always help because you can sit there and check it either way. But I would say if you use, like me, I use this when I study, or my laptop, to put those on do not disturb and use your phone and record, so you don't get some like secondhand notification that you want to check and then get distracted. Okay, so this goes for when I said that you should plan ahead. If your teacher gives a syllabus where he outlines what you're going to do each week, use that to make a study plan. Like, I know a lot of people do it in advance, but I would say wait until you know what your schedule is like that semester before making the plan. But like, use the syllabus, use what you know that you have to do. Like if you have to work, if you'd like to work out from 3 to 6, like I hope you don't work out from 3 to 6, but do you? Then you know when you'll have time to study, and you know what topics to study based on the syllabus that week, that time frame, blah blah blah. Which also goes into like, if you study in advance instead of cramming, that gives you more time to go back and ask questions or get answers to things that you might not know. I know. So I wrote this paper, story time. I wrote this paper about different study techniques, and one of them is looking at your notes and creating questions in the margins based on things you either don't understand, or making hypothetical questions like, oh, what kind of questions has this professor asked me in the past? What kind of question could you make from this piece of information? So if you don't, and you make a question and you don't necessarily know what the answer is, or you just have a question about the topic, you need something further explained, if you study in advance, you can go to your professor and ask those questions before the test. But if you sit and wait until the day before, then you can't ask those questions. You see what I mean? So that's why planning in advance helps you a lot. Okay, so I think this is my last tip, and I know this is kind of like, but try to make studying more fun. Like, I know when I was younger, I saw this, like, each time you go over a question, you get the answer right without using your notes, you get a piece of candy, or you get some food, or you get to go on TikTok for 5 minutes, or whatever, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you like to use for 5 minutes. And that's your reward for like learning that new piece of information. Or like there's this study technique which I really think is a good idea if you have a friend that's in your class, or somebody that likes to learn, like a parent that just likes to hear you talk all the time. You could learn the information and try to teach it to somebody else, because you teaching will have it, you describe it in a way that you think is more understandable for other people, which is making that topic more understandable for yourself. And it's just the repetition of those topics will stick with you, if you know what I mean. So that is a helpful tip as well. So yeah, I think that's it. So a little recap is plan in advance, have specific times to study for specific things. Change up your location, like don't always study in your room, study in your kitchen, study at a Panera, study Starbucks, somewhere else that's not your room. Try out different study techniques. If you feel like you do the same studying every time and your grades aren't improving, study a different way. Take a study technique test, take one of those online test things. Use your syllabus as a guide for when to study so you can plan studying. Review every day or every other day so you don't have to cram as much. You know the information because you reviewed the classwork, the information, the study guide, whatever, every day or every other day. Go to office hours. That goes with studying in advance. You study, you still have questions, go to office hours, ask your professor. That also helps you build a bond with your professor that you might need in the future. And lastly, try to make studying more fun. So that was just a little recap. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that if you have finals right now that you do great, even if you're in high school and taking like I know I had to take quarterlies. I don't know if you do that in online school, but if you do, good luck with those. These can help for those too. But if you're taking finals, good luck to you. I know I need it. I hope you do well. I hope everybody passes their finals, get the grades that they were looking for. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Good luck with finals.